That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to the infamous number 69 episode of Camp Strange. We're back to bring the strange, spooky, weird, wacky, and of course, horny.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Alex Tobin, your camp counselor.
We're especially horny today.
And who do I have over here?
I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And, I said that out of order. Now we're back to bring the spooky, it's horny. It's
Yeah,
horny.
this is the 69th time we've done this, so
you
know what's happening.
And if you know anything about Camp Strange, you know that, well, mostly David, he really likes horny stories.
Love it.
But what? Do you hear that?
Someone could hear the horniness is coming running.
I think somebody's getting horny over in the bushes.
Hey, I didn't expect.
Yeah, we caught you, motherfucker.
Oh my god, I'm so
Put that
sorry.
back in your pants. Oh, it's our friend Sam Skolnik.
Hello,
Hi,
everybody.
Sam.
Thank you for coming on, Sam.
Thanks. What's my title? You guys have camp counselors. What's mine?
You're
Bush jerker. Master of the bush baiter.
Bush jerker did 9/11. Is that too much? Okay.
I think you took it too
Let's
far on
start
that one.
real low and build our way up. Here we go.
Yep.
But Sam, thank you for coming on. You guys,
No, thank you for having me.
you have some
Wow.
you have some spooky stories for us today?
Of course, I have a spooky story for you today. That's what this podcast is, Tobin.
Wow, he listens.
We have a guest that's listened.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's fun. That's
That's
always
rare.
exciting for us.
It's very exciting.
But like you guys know, before we get into these lengthier stories we got for you today, we like to keep you updated on any news. And I have a news story right here. As man is too intoxicated to work his steak and shake shift, robs the place instead.
Yeah, that's the next. I mean, that's obviously the most logical next step.
So this guy, he's like 20 years old, and apparently he called out Thanksgiving. I don't know if he told him he was too drunk, but he said, but the
toxicology report.
No. They said he called out a steak shake because he was intoxicated, then showed up anyway and demanded money while holding a coworker at gunpoint.
Oh my god.
So it's armed robbery. That's never good.
There's at least one rule in armed robbery. I'm not a big armed robber, but the one rule I would think is go where nobody knows you.
That's
Yeah,
a good point.
that's a pretty good point.
Right?
Wow.
That's playing it safe. That's playing it smart.
Maybe he wanted to keep his job while robbing the place. He's like, I showed up technically on my day off. Do I
So-
get a
He's holding
fucking
a gun
raise?
up. He's like, clock me in.
He's like, Glock me in.
At the end of the day, it's like, you're going to give me the money I'm robbing, and I'm also clocking in and getting paid.
It's
so this is
true.
a double robbery.
Yeah.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, give me what is it, steak and shake? Give me the $250 in the register.
Yeah.
And then give me my $13.25.
You're like, credit cards are invented. There's no cash in this register. But luckily, nobody was hurt. He held the gun for a little bit while the police showed up, and then he dropped it, and they arrested him. So good. Everyone's safe, and the burgers are still flipping over at Steak and Shake.
Fantastic.
So, Sam, do you have any news for us?
I do have a news. I do have a news story. I have a couple, but this one, the title is just very funny to me. Visibly damp Papa John's founder says he ate 40 pizzas in 30 days.
Oh, this is awkward.
Why, did you do the same one?
Well, so at the moment, coming up on the holidays when Tob and I are not going to be around around each other, we've been backlogging a few episodes.
Did you do that one already?
We did, but this episode is going to be playing before that one.
Oh, that's really funny.
So you're going to beat me to the punch.
I can do
Oh, no, I mean, this is pretty funny on its own, but I mean, if you want to pull up another one while I tell mine, you could.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you said you came with a few, didn't you?
I have a few, but
Okay.
you say yours. I just want to make sure I don't say the exact
This
same
one
as
was
you.
from today.
Okay.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, do it.
Man arrested after throwing ferrets at a car in Horrigate.
Wait, in what? Is that a town name?
Yeah.
Horrigate?
I don't know. It's capitalized, so it must be.
Yeah. He threw ferrets?
He was eating ferrets at cars.
Was he at the fair?
It's still loading.
Oh.
If you could,
It's taken a long time to load this giant picture of a ferret.
While it's loading, could you, like in words, describe to us the action of yeeting?
Oh, I mean, that's the beauty of it. Is it's such an act that you can't really put a picture on it.
There's literally, and you can do whatever you want with a yeet. It's a lot of compassion. I'm not compassion. A lot of emotion.
Passion.
That's the word I was looking for. And you can do whatever you want with a yeet. You know, as long as something goes flying, it's a yeet.
So for me though, yeeting a ferret, I feel like that's a hard one though, because they're so long and
long
loose.
boys.
Like I feel like it'd be hard to throw one.
It's like throwing a sock full of rice.
It's like throwing a summer sausage.
It's like throwing a slinky.
It's like throwing an octopus.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Got one?
It's like throwing 3 picture frames at one time. No.
It's like throwing.
I've done that, and that is nothing like throwing a ferret.
It's like throwing a 1.5 foot cut of that rope you climbed in 3rd grade.
You were climbing rope in 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't have the monkey
like-
club?
It's like
We had
it's
the
like,
monkey club.
It's like tossing nerds rope.
That's cool.
Yeah,
we're
that's
cool.
good. That's good. That's
I'm
good.
catching
Okay,
on.
Sam, what other story you got for us?
Okay. Baby gift purchased at Florida thrift store. Was this done already?
No, you're good.
Baby gift purchased at Florida thrift store contains loaded gun.
Okay, so my question is, what is this baby gift?
Well, see, what I'm picturing right now before he explains it, I'm
Okay.
picturing like a baby doll and somebody like stashed a gun in the back because if you have a baby doll,
It's
in
either
your car-
cocaine or a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because no cop's gonna like start opening the back of baby dolls and be like looking for stuff, so it's like,
Unless they're a good cop.
and imagine like some guy like holding up a baby doll during like a bad drug deal or a shift at Steak and Shake, and all of a sudden you're like, that's a baby, and then a bullet comes flying out of its butt. And you're
Yeah.
like,
I was
there's a
thinking more
gun.
on the top of its soft head.
That's the beautiful thing about a baby gun. You could any which way you want it.
That's true. That's true.
So
Is it a lunch pail?
It's a
It was a Nerf gun that they
baby-
put over a real gun?
It's a baby Einstein. Baby Einstein bouncer that was unopened and appeared to be brand new. She copped that for $9.99 at the Goodwill.
That's a hell of a deal for a firearm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
And then, oh my God, they have pictures here.
Yeah, let me see that.
What kind of gun
See,
do you expect
now,
to be in
I
a
like
baby
Sam's
Einstein?
here with an iPad, which I really appreciate because he just picked that thing up and he can really show us everything. We're sitting here with laptops and like I usually take a picture on Snapchat and then I'll hold my phone up and I'll point it at Tobin so he can
big-
see the photo that I'm laughing at.
Is there a
Moral of the
Kalashnikov
story.
in there?
Moral of the story is get yourself an iPad Mini from Costco. So what kind of gun do you think?
Kalashnikov.
What is that?
I think it's no one's ever asked me that. I just say
That would be an AK-47.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Hold on.
oh yeah, what do you think, Stokes?
It's clearly not a Desert Eagle.
Is it a German Luger?
See, a Luger's not a bad idea because they're small and compact. I'm thinking it's a P90.
Sawed-off shotgun.
Or no,
Okay.
P99.
All right, now I'm gonna show it to Stokes first. Stokes, is this at all what you thought was gonna be in there?
That is not at all. Holy shit.
And Tobin,
What is that? Oh my god, it's like a.
it's a full-on AR.
Yeah, that is an assault rifle. That's
Assault
like
rifle.
an M4.
And it's got
M14?
two boxes of ammo with it.
To be fair, can I say this?
Whoa.
Just to be fair,
If you want to be fair, go for it.
Okay. I was really expecting, since it was a baby Einstein product,
Yeah.
for it to open it and there would be
A handgun.
an atom bomb inside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very good.
Manhattan Project, am I right, guys?
Yeah.
That's for all my Einstein heads out there.
Sam was drinking wine. He couldn't join the monkey howl.
Dude, we get it. You're in the monkey club in 3rd grade. You climbed
You guys
rope.
didn't have monkey club?
I don't know what that
In our gymnasium, we had like 5 different ropes, and like one of them had a bunch of knots, so like everybody could do that. It's not impressive.
fun story. Tobin and I actually went to the same elementary school.
Oh, yeah.
See, I thought this was a national thing. I didn't
No.
realize that we were special.
No,
because
see-
the 2 elementary schools I went to, because I got kicked out of one, they both had monkey club. That play structure burned down on its own. I tell you
Oh
that.
my god! That we'll see. Our play structure was outside. Is that what you're talking? It sounds like yours was inside.
Oh, you guys went to the same elementary school, didn't you?
We did, yeah.
I
we
forgot
did.
about that. No. We played outside.
I've never.
But it was the monkey club was inside the gymnasium, like the basketball court.
The gymnasium. That's what I'm talking about. That's inside.
They made you.
We didn't have that.
You didn't have an inside
We
gym?
had a multi-purpose room.
We had. Wait, this is your elementary school? See, third
Which
graders
one?
shouldn't be climbing anything higher than a table.
That's
or a
what I
chair.
always thought was kind of sketchy because they pulled up that shitty gym mat that was like a half
like
an inch.
and a half.
Yeah. And
Like, this will soften your broken neck.
Yeah.
Like, what do you? Why?
and they had the plastic one that you could grip really good.
We had one in junior high. That's because our junior high was pretty old, and I remember like they didn't want people climbing that. That was
Yeah.
like nerve wracking for like the PE people. They're like, man, like okay, just climb like up halfway, and then
They
like, come
wanted
back
us to
down."
fucking die, I guess.
You know that you were the only one in Monkey Club. He's like,
That makes sense.
Monkey Club Stokes, climb as high as you can.
he's like, I'm at the top, and he's like, just like go.
keep trying to ring the bell with one hand.
They're like, just go and start using the metal rafters. So,
No, you can't. What's it called when you have you don't get a harness.
No, seriously. We
There
were
was
not
no
strapped in
harness.
or anything.
Yeah.
If you fell, you fucking fell.
Okay.
They didn't force people to do it, but we all did it.
anyway,
My mind's blown. I need to Google Monkey Club, like elementary school.
stop googling Monkey Club. I think you guys are caught up on all the news as of right now. Is that it? Is that all the news we have for you?
Oh yeah, we should get into stories.
Okay, well, I guess we should get into these stories. But before we get into these stories, we want to remind you that Spring Heel Jack is the best coffee in the game. If you guys like coffee, you like Spring Heel Jack. And guess what? It's the winter times, and you got to give people presents. So why not give them coffee? Everybody likes coffee. Everybody loves it. Pack it full in a sock and send it to your Meemaw and your Grandpepper, and they'll love it. They'll eat it up. They'll suck on the beans.
Spring Heel Jack. It's real fucking good.
That's their slogan. So go check out springheeljack.coffee. Yeah, that's right. .coffee. So go check them out. They're great.
I'm starting to think my monkey club was my own personal Vietnam, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, I don't think no one else knows it. We also have one more little ad for us that is a little personal ad. Sam, you want to take
yeah.
this?
You only
take
get
this?
one.
Oh, okay. Witnesses.
It's
Just one word. Witnesses.
It's a movie.
Go ahead and Google it.
Yeah, go ahead, Google it. You can find it. It's a movie. It's a scary movie.
I got this. I'll take this.
Yeah,
over.
you got it.
So Sam was actually in a film called Witnesses.
You're not even gonna let him do his own plug,
No, because
I started it.
no one likes to talk about themselves, you
Yeah,
know.
it's true.
except for you.
So Sam was in a horror film called Witnesses that is on Amazon Prime, correct?
It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Voodoo.
Voodoo. Yeah.
Voodoo.
No one
It's
has that.
on
I can see the logo. I never really sounded it out because
Yeah.
I didn't care. But
Google
yeah, Voodoo.
Play and iTunes.
So go check it out. It's a good movie. Sam, what is the synopsis on it?
It's it's like four film students witness something that will get them in trouble.
Forever change. And Sam is one of those students.
Now I'm one of those students.
So Sam did a great job. I watched the movie. I liked Sam in it.
I haven't watched it.
Sam was really good in it. Actually, I liked it. Actually.
Sam was actually pretty good in this
I've-
movie.
So that's why I didn't watch it. 'Cause I was like, that probably sucks.
I fucking hate him in real life, but I loved his character. You should just be that character all the time. I loved
Do a little
him.
more
Yeah.
method acting, really research it and just be that person.
But go check it out, guys. It's called Witnesses. It's a good movie. We're past Halloween, but still, I mean, who doesn't love at Christmas time just sitting around the tube and watching a good movie? So
I mean, if you're listening to this now, then,
yeah,
you would like it.
I don't know what you're trying to say there.
I'm saying you don't need spooky shit just on Halloween if you're
True.
listening to
Year
this.
round.
Yeah,
year
that's
You
round.
want to do? You had another one, didn't you?
I did.
I'll be generous. Do another plug.
Okay, well,
You starving
my
artist.
other plug is my sketch team. I'm on a house sketch team at the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica. That's right, the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica. We perform every third Sunday of the month at 9 p.m. at the West Side Comedy Theater, where our name is There Will Be Snacks.
Will there be?
And there's
No.
an asterisk. There's an asterisk, and the snacks are available for purchase. So,
Fuckers.
yeah,
Give me some gummy sharks.
Gummy sharks.
You know
No,
what?
Those are
I'm
good.
sorry.
You remember
Are they
gummy
good?
sharks?
Are
No,
they good though? Because
They
it's
are.
too much gummy.
They are.
It's
Also,
too much gummy.
Also, I've seen Sam's sketch team, and I really like them too. They were great. I laughed the
Thank
whole
you.
entire time. I get nervous when I go see like live comedy because I'm afraid it's gonna be bad and I have to pity laugh. And I actually genuinely belly laughed during yours, so
Ooh, you
a
get
lot,
belly
a lot of
rumbling.
pressure was off me. So if you guys ever in LA, go check them out. At what time?
Every third Sunday at 9. Every third Sunday of the month at 9 p.m.
Cool. Okay.
So you're like Thanksgiving kind of.
Yeah. Sure.
Anyway, so
Sure.
let's get into
Hey,
these
Stokes,
stories.
sure,
Here we
sure.
go, guys. Now, David and Sam, as you know, this has been the long-awaited episode for Camp Strange, as we have finally reached the horniest number man has yet to discover, episode 69. And as most of you know, David and I love all things not only strange, but also all things horny. Every once in a while, though, there's a beautiful crossing of paths within our stories where the strange meets the horny. And to be honest, if Camp Strange has a physical location, you would most likely find us at the corner of Strange Street and Horny Way.
Now there's a little quick break. I just wanted to note that we still have 351 episodes until our next big episode.
Oh, shit.
351.
Wait, 351? What's our next one?
420.
Oh, 420.
420, bro.
420, baby.
Legalize that shit, dog.
So,
Looking at you, California. I'm looking at you, Oregon. I'm looking at you, Washington.
it's all legal. So, but if you were to come visit us, you might also find another creature who would claim that they were the rightful residents of such a location. A creature equally all things strange and, of course, horny. And that is why today I will be telling you about the monster both dreaded and beloved by all that cross its path. The creature we like to call the mermaid.
Ah, very good. Very
A
good.
little horny, a little strange, a little scary.
You guys seen the lighthouse?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No spoilers, please
Well,
don't.
now I guess there's a fucking mermaid in it, Sam.
The mermaid's
No,
in the trailer.
Fuck
So-
you.
so-
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I just saw.
Oh, wait, hold on. Are we talking about which lighthouse? The one with
Robert
The one
Pattinson.
with Robert Pattinson.
Okay, 'cause I saw
and
Nether-
Willem Dafoe.
Because I saw a horror movie about. I thought it was something like Mermaid, and I think it was a foreign film, and it was
called
about.
Splash.
No, it was about a guy, and it was two guys in a lighthouse, and they go crazy, and then one of them starts
That's it.
fucking a mermaid.
That's the lighthouse.
Hmm?
That's the lighthouse.
No, I watched this on like a website like a year ago. Like it's not. It definitely wasn't Willem Dafoe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is something
That's
completely
what
different.
the White House. That's what the lighthouse is about. It's with the White House.
That's what's going on in the White
Is
House.
it a remake?
I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So, when most of us hear the word mermaid, we think of the famous Disney film, The Little Mermaid. But the movie is a very different story from the original fairy tale of The Little Mermaid written by Hans Christian Andersen. The original story consists of the Little Mermaid getting her tongue hacked out of her mouth, obtaining legs and feet that when walked on feel like she's stepping on glass, getting screwed out of a marriage by a misunderstanding, and then forced to choose between murdering the prince by stabbing him through the heart, then washing her legs with the blood to get her tail back, or die by dissolving into the sea and turning into sea foam, in which she chooses the latter. So,
Wow.
did you guys know that?
That's what the Little Mermaid is based off of.
That's what the latter means.
No.
That was a term I'd never heard of.
Like the former and the latter. Latter means that she
No, I get it.
decided to turn into foam
Instead of murdering a prince.
instead of murdering her prince.
See, that was a term I'd never heard of until like this past year.
Oh, really?
And
The
I had
latter.
someone said it, and I was like, "What does that mean?"
It's a
And
la-
and they were like, well, "How do you not know what that means?" I
Like,
never
have
heard.
you
of
ever
it.
heard of the Latter-day Saints?
That's not what that means. But yeah.
Have you ever painted a fucking house?
So latter means the last one, and then former means the one before that.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's crazy because that story is like super depressing, kind of similar to Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Every single Disney movie
they
Did you-
spin it.
do you know why they wrote the book, The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No.
The reason why they wrote it was to spread knowledge of the architecture.
of Notre Dame.
Of the church.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
not just the church, but the style of architecture. That's why when you read that book, it goes into such great detail of the architecture.
I've never read the book.
I haven't either, but I saw like a thing about that.
Oh, okay.
Thought that was really interesting.
Very interesting. But
I saw the movie.
You see that boy's back?
So
I want to know the architecture of his back.
Let's see the bones. Let's see the bones. I want to see those bones.
But today we're not talking about hunchbacks. We're talking about mermaids. And as you can tell, mermaids were seen in a much different light back in the day. Sometimes loved and sometimes hated. But let's get into why. The earliest fish/human-like creatures consisted of mostly mermen, like Poseidon and Neptune, but the earliest mermaid-like figure was likely the ancient Syrian goddess Atargatis, who watched...
Target tits.
A target.
Atargas seashells.
What's your target?
Let's keep going.
So Atargatis, who watched over the fertility of her people as well as their general well-being. But how did Atargatis become a mermaid? Atargatis was a goddess who fell in love with a human shepherd, not a German shepherd, but her divine strength accidentally took his life. You know, like when you're too strong. It's like Wonder Woman having sex with like a mortal man. It's not
Superman.
It's like Lenny in Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, she's gonna kill him. So she accidentally took his life, and overcome with grief and guilt, Atargatis attempted to take her life in the ocean. Gods usually turned into fish when they dove into the sea, but the goddess was too beautiful for that fate, and the transformation stopped halfway through, and she became the first mermaid. You know when you're so beautiful that even like the gods are like, yo, you can't be full fish. Like, come on.
Wow.
I worked really
Girl,
hard
your
on
top
that.
half is crazy nice.
That's the first ever recorded instance of hot women getting what they want.
True. So even the great Roman naturalist and historian Pliny the Elder wrote of mermaids from time to time, writing, "The top portion of the body that resembles the human figure is still rough all over with scales." He also noted Legatus of Gaul once wrote to Emperor Augustus, claiming he found a considerable number of these creatures dead upon the seashores. So Pliny the Elder, he's famous for, is it younger?
The beer.
No, well, he's done that too, but the Pompeii explosion.
Okay.
That was, I don't know if it was younger or elder, but like he's the one who documented that. That's what he's most known for. So he claimed that he heard people talking about like telling kings like, I found a bunch of mermaid creatures, and they had scales on the top half of their body too, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
So
that just sounds like guys making up excuses why they jumped over boats for him. Like, oh no, the top half was really good, I swear.
like, I swear it wasn't covered in scales. It definitely didn't look like a fish still. Yeah. It's like, dude, I think you have like a fish fetish.
Well, I am a sailor.
I'm a fish fetisher. So Pliny also mentions seamen. Yeah, I told you I was about to get horny up in this bitch.
Hey-o.
So he mentions seamen, who we call them mermen, who, when night falls, climb into ships upon which the side of the vessel where he seated himself would instantly sink downward, and if he remained there for a considerable time, he would even go underwater. How terrifying is that, where you're just like cruising your little boat, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere all these mermen start climbing on the side and your boat starts turning over into the sea? They're basically tipping the boat over.
Sounds like what the next Pirates of the Caribbean is about.
Honestly, it might. No, they already had a mermaid in that one.
Aren't they starting fresh?
I don't know. I don't know.
I thought they were rebooting all that
Sam's
shit.
never seen any of them.
All I'm saying
Pirates of the Caribbean,
is
I've been on the ride. I've seen the movie.
I saw those people eating dinner.
Isn't it so funny in the first Pirates of the Caribbean when they're on the boat and then they look over and everybody's eating dinner?
There's that guy on his
like
iPad and they're
it's like a really nice like bistro.
It's called the Blue Bayou, and I've eaten dinner there, so don't talk about it.
How was it?
I had jambalaya, and it was spicy. I was 14.
How expensive was
jambalaya.
My dad paid for it. I was 14.
Your dad's all right, Alex. You've got the bill.
I've eaten there too. I was even younger than 14.
He's like, Daddy's not a pirate like Jack Sparrow, so I don't have any booty in my pockets, okay? So, Dad, you're going to have to pick up the bill for Daddy tonight.
Wait, can you do that whole thing, but as your dad? Because we know you can do your dad's voice.
Because everybody thought that you were faking and pretending to be your dad for when we had him on the episode.
Fuck you guys. Anyway.
No, you're not. All right.
So, my voice is my dad's voice. So, let's continue.
I am my dad.
So, one of the most famous portrayals of mermaids comes from Greek mythology in the legendary story The Odyssey, in which sirens would lure men to their deaths with beautiful song. In the story, while Odysseus and his men are navigating the ocean in their ships, they see beautiful women splayed out on rocks singing beautifully. The experienced sailors knew that the beauty in appearance and song would do to any man. What did I write there? Would do to any man.
There's one of those every episode.
Yeah, I always do that. Basically, they knew what the song and their beauty would do to any man. So in preparation, the men tied themselves to the mast of the ships and filled their ears with wax in order to keep them from jumping overboard to get to the sirens. Anyone who jumped overboard would be grabbed by these mermaids and pulled down toward the depths of the black ocean, never to be seen again.
That's my nightmare.
What would they do?
That's my absolute nightmare.
So
Yeah.
I read that book I was forced to read that book in honors English. Trust me, I did not belong there.
Yeah, baby honors English.
But-
Wait, who'd you have? We went to the same high school.
I don't remember her name.
What do you mean you don't remember her name?
I don't remember her name. She's old.
Miss
aren't they all?
Robbins?
Yep, that's her.
Miss Robbins.
So but
Shouts out Gay Robbins.
so that was her name.
That's her
first
name.
name. Anyway,
I'm sure the kids love that.
so basically, I read that book and I vividly remember that part being like really terrifying. I being dragged to the bottom of the ocean
Yeah,
is like the
fuck
ocean
that.
is the scariest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
just want to know what they did with, like, do those guys become the people who pull down the ships?
Wait.
Oh.
Let me get into this,
Oh,
Sam. You're
shit.
jumping ahead right now.
I just
Sam's
pulled a
just-
Tobin.
Yeah, Sam's just doing what you used to do.
Shut up. So, according to the story, these sirens originally were actually half women and half bird, but would later be changed to half fish
So sweet,
and
dude.
half human form we know as mermaids. So, in the original Odyssey, they were actually half birds, which is kind of crazy, but when they switched it, that's when like the sirens became more of a thing, because a siren is basically a mermaid. But I don't know if the siren title falls onto a bird as well, because they weren't beautiful, but they sang really well.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't.
That
birds-
sounds
birds-
like a bird to me.
Birds sing better than fish, and I can confirm
Yeah,
that.
how many fish have you heard sing?
Okay, the one thing I learned from Animal Planet is that fish can't sing.
Well, that's not true, because I've heard a fish sing. You know what he sang?
What?
Give me the fillet fish. Give me the fish.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be. Don't worry,
see, we
be
got-
happy now.
So
You must have missed like the first
Shut
like
up.
2 or 3 episodes.
So we originally got we were originally talking about a big mouth Billy Bass that sang the Filet of Fish song from McDonald's. So you
What
should
was
shout
this
out.
like episode 1,
Like
2,
three.
3?
Yeah, I didn't start
We-
listening until like 30.
That's good. That's probably a good choice.
So let me get back into the story before.
Hold
we
on,
get,
real quick though, because we tried to find one of the singing the big mouth ballad, Billy Bass, whatever,
Yeah.
on Amazon or eBay. And the only thing we found was the McDonald's brand one that sang about filet-o-fish.
It was
Alright.
better than the rest of them.
Honestly, it was.
So, also, side note, it was also said that sailors who fell overboard and sank to the bottom of the ocean sometimes came back as merfolk with no memory of their past lives, which goes exactly
God,
to
I'd
what
pay
Sam
for
was.
that.
What goes exactly to what Sam was saying about. I wonder if these guys who sank to the bottom of the ocean were the guys climbing on the ships, because they were.
They were.
Bada
Wow.
bing, bada boom.
So you know I'm a good storyteller.
So even Christopher Columbus wrote that he saw mermaids while on his expedition, but claimed that they were not as beautiful as they'd been depicted, and they actually looked like men.
Those were just dolphins.
He's like, look at those mermaids, and like, so that's a dolphin. He's like, looks like a man to me. Look at that big forehead.
It looks just like you with that sharp, pointy snout.
Christopher was like, can you check my blowhole real quick on the top of my head? So now I want to get into a little bit of the different culture mermaids.
Okay.
I want to get into maybe a little Russian, a little Irish, and a little Japanese mermaid. Because
Okay.
most cultures do have their own types of mermaids, but they differ a little bit.
Well, really quick,
Mhm.
this may or may not ruin everything, but do you think that it's like, how can they be in so many different cultures? Do you think it's because each culture tells the other culture about it, or is it because mermaids are freaking real?
Because every single country touches the ocean. Not every that's
The Czech
continent.
The Czech Republic's like, what the fuck, man?
like, yo, we haven't seen the water in years. I just mean like, I mean the ocean is obviously it's all connected. So the mermaids could end up anywhere, and any country goes to a shore, especially like you said, continent, then they could witness these mermaids and have their own folklore about it. So the first country I want to really get into is Russia. So in Russian folklore, Rusalki are the spirits of women who took their own lives or were submerged in water until passing due to unwanted pregnancies. Their souls lived on forever in the form of vengeful mermaids who punished men and children for their fate. If you met a Rusalki, she would lure you in with her beauty and make you feel safe with her soothing voice. Once you were in her grasp, she would hold you underwater until you passed. In some versions of the story, she would instead tickle you to your end while she laughed herself.
Wait, tickle
underwater?
You? Yeah, underwater?
She would tickle you.
I can't think of a worse place to be tickled than underwater.
Yeah.
I assume so, but like, they just basically said she would tickle you until you couldn't breathe anymore. She'd either drown you underwater or maybe tickle you on land or tickle you underwater. Either way, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, have you ever been like tickled by somebody where like you could not breathe?
You shit your pants?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have been tickled.
Somebody touched me.
Call TMZ. Sam's been tickled. So, but I just think that's very much of a haunting in like American folklore. We have like a lot of spirits that have been done wrong. All these women would have been drowned due to unwanted pregnancies, and they come back as a vengeful spirit. But instead of a spirit, they come back as a mermaid. And honestly, I think the tickling part is the most terrifying part of that folklore.
Dying laughing.
It's like they're laughing and you're just like, because I used to have dreams about this. I think I brought this up on the podcast before.
I mean, you have bad dreams.
I do have bad dreams, but when I was younger, I used to have this monster this guy called the tickle monster, and he would tickle me until I could not breathe, and I would suffocate in my dream, and then I'd wake up.
Sounds like a short film to me.
It's very true. It's the horniest short film you've ever seen. So the next place I want to go, the next country that touches water, as I like to say, is Ireland. Mm-hmm. So in Irish folklore, selkies are seal women. So not really your typical mermaid. So when these creatures want to go on land, they simply peel off their seal skin and reveal their human forms, stowing their skin behind rocks. Unfortunately for them, any man can make a selkie his bride if he steals her skin, as long as this is a very important thing, as long as he keeps the skin in a hidden place and oils it frequently.
I want to know what kind of breathing apparatus she had inside the skin.
No,
so she can
she like
be
had
underwater.
She had like a zipper down the back of her seal costume. And she comes on land, zips it off. She's like, "Oh, what's up?" And then the guy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna steal this costume." Yeah. So now they're not gonna accept you.
Look at this seal suit I found.
Yeah, it's
y'all ever seen Tusk?
Oh
yes.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Great movie.
It was good for
scary. That's what I'm saying. Like that. It just freaked me out.
Like the weirdest type of scary.
Yeah.
You're just like, this is so weird, but like, holy shit, this was real.
Yeah.
So I just want to finish off with selkies, because selkie love stories always end in tragedy for the men, though, as land-bound selkies never stop hunting for their skin. They inevitably find them and return to sea, never to see their husbands or children ever again.
Are they immortal? Like, can they die?
I believe they can die, but they're basically just saying, like, even when you have this selkie as like your wife and you have like 10 years deep with her and your child's like 6, all of a sudden if like the selkie's like cleaning out one of the closets and finds her seal costume, she's like she'll dip.
Peace.
And then now you got a 6-year-old.
Ugh.
What am I gonna do with the 6-year-old? Who's gonna cook and clean? who's gonna catch fish in their mouth now? What? How am I gonna find a wife that claps like?
Who's gonna bark me to sleep?
Anyway, so I mean, that's just a deadbeat seal if I've ever heard of one. So, the next place I want to go is Japan. So the Ningyo of Japan are a totally different kind of mermaid than you probably are used to. Instead of the traditional half-human, half-fish hybrid that is so common amongst Western mythology, the Ningyo can take various forms. The lower body of a fish with the upper half of a monkey, the whole body of a fish with the face of a bird, reptile, or even a human, and often sports grotesque razor-sharp teeth sprouting from their mouth. These creatures are more than just awful to look at. However, they supposedly possess incredible powers too. So, I mean, just picture this. Picture you got a full fish. You got a full fish, right?
Full fish.
Swims up to you. You're expecting a song, right? Maybe about a fillet of fish. All of a sudden, you got Winona Ryder's face on that fish. That's a human face right there.
Ah, so scary.
She's like, Will!
Oh my god.
But is that, I mean, it's just, I feel like leave it to Japan to put like a human face on like a fish and be like, what? Be like, no, it's cute. Be like, that's not cute. That's scary. Be like, no, it's cute. It's got razor sharp teeth too. Be like, no, that's not. Well, what's the word? What's the word we're looking for? What's cute in Japanese?
Kawaii?
Yeah.
Okay.
That fish ain't kawaii, baby.
Just real quick, I just want to describe to the listener that when you said picture this, Stokes fully closed his eyes and was very soulfully picturing.
I fell asleep for a minute.
So the flesh of the Ningyo, like I said, they do have powers. They possess incredible powers. So the flesh of the Ningyo, if consumed, supposedly could grant a person eternal life or at least a very long one.
You might not go forever, but it's going to be a long one.
He's like, hey, okay.
You're going to be hurting all over and you're going to want to die.
So I got this skin.
You'll see your great-grandchild die, but hey, you know, you're still alive.
He's like, so I got this skin, right? No one's ever returned it, okay? So I think they're still alive. I don't know 100%, but there is a tale. So one tale tells the story of a young girl who consumed Ningyo meat by accident after her father left it out. You know, like when you just go eat your dad's leftovers all the time. So she would barely aging and lived for many years wandering through the world until one day she finally returned to her hometown to pass at the age of
69.
No.
Oh,
like she didn't live forever, but she lived up there. What do you guys think?
660.9.
42.
No, 800. She got to the 800 club.
800.
So, I mean, it's worth trying to go find
Mr.
yourself
800.
in Ninjago, even if it is a little sharp teeth Winona Ryder fish. You know, you got to watch out for them. But like,
Oh, there's another tail you missed.
what are you talking about?
You said there's one tail, but there's another tail you missed.
Is it on the back of the fish?
Yeah.
Fucking asshole. You know what? I wrote that in my story like numerous times. I was like, this tail, not the tail on the fish. And I was like, yo, you're stupid. And I like deleted it. So I'll leave that for you, David. That's for you. So I want to end it off with this. So most civilizations throughout history have believed in some form of mermaid, since it is an ancient belief that every land animal actually has a counterpart within the sea. A horse has a seahorse. A cow, a sea cow, a.k.a. a manatee.
Those are awesome.
And a dog, what do you guys think? It seems pretty similar.
Seal.
It seems pretty similar to a seal, if you ask me.
My dog looks like a seal when his ears are down.
So why wouldn't a mermaid exist as a human counterpart?
Because we got sea monkeys. You can buy them shits at the dollar store.
It's a monkey. So
Aren't we all?
So I like to say this. Wow. So we're not in the monkey club, okay? So next time you're feeling especially horny, maybe take your dinghy out. Yes, I mean your boat, and row it out beyond the waves, and keep an ear out for any singing. And if you're lucky enough, maybe you'll get pulled into the depths of the ocean, ripped apart by razor-sharp teeth, or tickled to death. Well, only if you're into that kind of stuff. So
It
it's up
sounds
to you
like
guys.
Sam's into it.
It sounds like, yeah. I mean, if you want to pull your dinghy out past the buoys and go get pulled down or tickled to death, that's all you, baby.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of being pulled under.
So I mean, that's the history of mermaids. I mean, as we know, they are ferocious, but they are also beautiful. So they're like a poisonous butterfly.
The scary one that you keep saying has like scales all over. It reminds me of the fourth Harry Potter. You guys,
What were those
the
things
Goblet
called?
of Fire. I don't know if they called them mermaids or I don't remember what they called them, but they were scary. Dude.
Seamen.
They're called merkins.
Dude, I didn't make one merkin joke this entire time.
Yep. I think that's another joke that might be referenced in our next
I
episode.
think it is. David talked extensively about merkins.
Wasn't that extensive.
Stay tuned for merkin talk. Not mermen talk, merkin. So, yeah, that's my story.
Yeah.
That's a brief history of mermaids. I mean, you could go into every
Brief history of mermaids.
so you could go into any kind of lore you want, but that's just the little surface area.
Yep. Well, I think it's time for our guest to go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. All right. So
Whenever you want.
this I didn't get the horny.
He didn't
memo.
get the horny memo.
I didn't get the horny memo.
To be fair, he didn't know he was jumping into the episode 69. That's our fault. But so we're gonna take a little horny break. But you guys need that. We all need a break.
Yeah,
Give me
you can.
15 minutes. You know. Give me 20 minutes.
Give me 15
Cigarette
minutes and
break.
2 Gatorades.
I need a Pedialyte.
Pedialyte, baby.
There we go. Oh, can I get a cherry Pedialyte?
Baby.
Strawberry Pedialyte.
I need a gallon
Strawberries
of
better.
milk.
Meal.
Anyway,
Give
yeah.
me some of that pineapple.
So Sam, what do you have for us today?
All right. So what I have is this story called the Manhattan Abduction of Linda.
Just Linda.
Of Linda Cortile Napolitano.
I think about that website where you can learn things.
Is it just called Linda?
Lynda.com.
It's like, Linda, teach me about Spanish.
She's like,
She's got
no.
the classes.
Wow. Well, I mean, it sounds pretty horny.
Okay, yeah, so
So
the
please-
Manhattan Abduction of Linda Cortile Napolitano.
Oh, I like it.
So, Tobin Stokes, have you ever gotten up in the middle of the night for any reason?
Oh, wow.
To use
you
the what?
Do you know me?
To use the bathroom, a quick midnight bowl of cereal.
Oh, I'm a PB&J midnight guy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I ate like 3 Costco cookies last night. Like I woke up and
Are
I
those
ate,
bigger than normal cookies?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're the ones that come in the big things.
The pizza
Oh
box?
yeah.
I ate 3 full-size Pazookies last night. Help me! I had acid reflux when I woke
Last
up.
night, real late,
I
I
shit the
drove
bed.
down to BJ's.
I've been
I ordered
shitting-
3 Pazookies.
I've been shitting diabetes ever since.
So have you ever woken up in the middle of
Yes.
the night? You ever woken up, when you wake up, when Tobin comes out in the living room yelling about how we need to shut the windows because there are too many spiders?
Yo, for real though,
Pretty
watch
close
out
to
for
home.
them spiders. That's too true.
Well, let me tell you. On November 30th, 1989, a housewife and mother of 2, Linda Cortile, Cortile is in quotes, that was the fake name that they gave her when they...
To hide her identity.
To hide her identity.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Linda Cortile Napolitano was awakened at 3 a.m., not by an urge to drop a big deuce or stuff her face with full of peanut butter, but
Oh.
by a strange light shining through the window of her Manhattan apartment building.
It was her neighbor, Larry. Again.
Hey, I brought this new flashlight.
Linda, look at my new flashlight. It's got a strobe setting.
You having a seizure in there? What's wrong?
That night, Napolitano claimed that she was abducted by the so-called Greys, who floated her from her closed bedroom window into a hovering UFO.
Oh,
I mean, if I'm getting abducted and they hovered me out, I wouldn't be that mad. If they just, like, with their little grimy hands, like, picked me up and, like, threw me in a bag.
They can't yeet you in a bag.
Yeah, just eat me up real quick. The thing I
Yeet
read
me
that
up, Scotty.
part. I read that part like 3 times. I was like, it says through the closed bedroom window, and I just want to know if they just like tried really hard.
She's like pressed up against it.
And finally it just cracks and shatters everywhere.
Oh, that's a great image.
It's like in the movie when somebody like lands on a glass roof and they can feel it like cracking underneath
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They're like, oh.
Yeah.
See, I think it's funnier if she just goes straight through it with no resistance.
So she actually had this is what she said about the event. This is a quote.
Thank you.
I'm standing up on nothing, and they take me out. They take me out all the way up above the building. Ooh, I hope I don't fall.
This is sounding pretty horny.
The UFO opens up almost like a clam, and then I'm inside.
Okay, this is a horny story.
is-
Don't be fucking
This is
lying to
accident.
us.
This is
accident.
dummy horny.
Open it like a clam.
I see benches similar to regular benches, and they're bringing me down a hallway. Doors open like sliding doors.
Oh,
Yo, I saw
Kinda
this.
horny.
I saw this porno. What are you lying about, boy?
Inside are all these lights and buttons in a big long table.
Oh
man.
I don't want to get up on that table. They make me get up on the table.
Yo, okay,
anyway.
honestly, this is like one of those novels you buy at the grocery
Yeah.
store that has just the guy's abs on the front of it. That's what this is.
There's always a horse and a
there's
cliff.
There's a horse.
A cliff, the moon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
a
moon.
white button-up shirt that's open.
Yeah. They never show their face too, because I think they want you to like picture whoever you want to picture. But like the body, everybody's like, okay.
They just
we like
put the
abs.
big old like New York Times bestseller over his face.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway.
Oprah Club.
So anyway.
Because he looks like Paul Giamatti with a good body.
I'd take it.
So anyway, a horse with abs emerged.
Whoa.
Okay,
Keep
so
reading. Keep
they
reading.
get me up on the table anyway. They start saying things to me, and I'm yelling, and I still can yell. But one of them says something that sounds like, "Knobby egg,
Knobby egg.
knobby egg."
So that guy, he needs 20 more minutes. If you guys know, if you're catching my drift.
And 2 Pedialytes.
Yeah, he's like, give me a Pedialyte, man. I need you to step in the other room.
She says, "I think they were trying to tell me to be quiet because they put their hand over my mouth." Ooh, that's the end of the quote.
That's the end of the quote.
Oh,
Linda's-
finished too soon.
I'm gonna start using that in my regular life. Like,
Knobby egg.
if my girlfriend's
Knobby
talking
egg.
about knobby egg right over her mouth, she's like, "We're at Cheesecake Factory. You need to stop this."
Okay, so Linda's experience, though intriguing, was hampered by at first by memory loss. She could recall only bits and pieces of the abduction. She could remember vividly the actual kidnapping and the room where she was examined, but the transportation process itself was totally lost on her.
A lot of people say that. A lot of
Yeah.
people go like, "I don't really remember like how I got into the ship, but I remember like the interior of the ship."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because they yeet you up so quick, you lose
So
your
fast.
memory gets left on Earth. I think.
Snaps back like a rubber band.
Now, but what makes this abduction more interesting than any of the other, like, I was probed by green alien stories?
Oh, I mean, are you about to tell us? Do we have to guess?
They were gray.
I think she really enjoyed it from the sound of it.
All right.
There.
She probed them. They took turns.
It's consensual on
okay.
both parts.
The thing that sets this one apart is that there were witnesses.
Oh,
Wait, what?
okay.
Witnesses,
Like, in the-
starring Sam Skolnik.
Oh, yo! Wow, I can't even be mad at that plug right
That's a
there.
good one. We didn't need to give you that 10-second
Wait,
plug.
did you say starring or featuring?
It's
You know what? Fuck you.
I'm like third, fourth.
It's true.
lead.
You are. I think like third build. you
third,
know?
fourth.
And I think you're
It's up there.
Hey, you're the best actor in that
You
movie.
Hey, you're
Stop
the
it.
quarter that makes 100. You're the fourth right there.
Thank you. I'm the quarterback.
Nobby egg.
No, yeah,
Nobby
yeah.
egg.
You guys,
Nobby egg.
You shush it all
you guys could take this all out. There were two sets of witnesses. One witness was a retired telephone operator,
Oh, you can't trust them.
No.
Janet Kimball, who stated she had seen the abduction that night from the Brooklyn Bridge. where she thought she was watching the filming of a scene from an upcoming sci-fi film.
What year was this?
This was 1989.
Okay,
so it
big
could be
budget,
legitimate.
big budget. Next Spielberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
They made a real UFO for it.
Ghostbusters, maybe.
Whoa, so she thought she was watching Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The second set of witnesses is where it gets interesting. Okay. These two men are known as Richard and Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Is that their real names?
Probably not.
Who knows?
Richard and Dan.
Richard and Dan. They were originally revealed as two bodyguards for a senior United Nations statesman who was also visiting Manhattan.
So they're on high alert. They're looking at everything.
They're looking around. They are alert.
So you
said
it was Richard and Dan.
Richard and Dan.
Can we fix that for the Horny episode?
Dick and Dan.
Thank you.
This diplomat.
Can we just call him Dan
this
Dick?
Diplomat.
Dan Dick. Dan's Dick.
This diplomat?
This diplomat would eventually be identified as Javier Perez du Cuellar.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
Oh.
He's from Tokyo.
Javier. He's like, I got one of them mermaids in Tokyo.
Allegedly, he and his guards were a part of a group who were coming late at night from the heliport at Governor's Island, the military installation in New York Harbor, with them in the other cars, as one of the agents put it, with two U.S. government officials and two foreign statesmen.
So they had a jam-packed car.
They got jam-packed.
There was a lot
cars.
of cocaine.
There was a lot of cocaine. It was 1989.
A lot of mermaid skin, you mean? They're all fucking 700 right
and
now.
a cheese grater. Snort that shit.
You're like, I don't know what to say after that.
So Richard actually has a quote in here. He stated,
Who?
His name.
Richard
I don't
Dick.
know that name. There we go.
Dickie boy. Dick says there was an oval-shaped object hovering over the top of the apartment building 2 or 3 blocks from where we sat. We didn't know where it came from. It happened too fast. Its lights turned from bright reddish orange to a whitish blue coming out of the bottom. Green lights rotated around the edge of the saucer. A little girl or woman wearing a white gown sailed out of the window in a fetal position and then stood in midair in this beam of light.
Okay, so I have an actual question. They are in Manhattan.
They're in Manhattan.
One of the most populated cities is it
in the world?
Technically, city.
Yeah.
In the United States at least.
In the world, I think.
Is it? I mean, I
Probably.
think like Tokyo is probably the number one. But the question I have is, why did not more people see them, or is it something like you are predispositioned, or like you have to like believe, or you know?
I have an answer for that.
Yeah. What's up?
Have you ever been in New York?
Yes.
People see crazy shit every day. You
There's
think
lights.
they give a shit? They're just like fuck it. I need to go get a bagel.
Yeah, I guess like
It's
that.
just New York. It's 1989, baby.
I guess like people didn't have phones.
Where'd
too.
my Kango hat go?
Okay, Samuel L. But no, I guess that was my question. Is like, do you think people are predisposed to like seeing aliens? Like people who believe see them, or do you think it's like the general population maybe witnessed something and went like whatever?
I'm sure a few other people saw
military.
and were just like,
Yeah, never brought it up. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
they
they never
just
got
didn't.
contacted. People
Yeah.
were busy, you know.
Right, and it was
Good-
also
good
3.
explanation.
It was also 3 a.m. Did I say that?
So hold
no,
on.
you didn't.
It's
What was the
3
first?
a.m.
What was the first person they were they a 911 operator?
Janet Kimball?
Yeah. What was?
No, she was a retired phone operator.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say if she was a 911 operator, then like she's a little closer to report things, and then the other guys were bodyguards for like political people, so they have another like those are 2 positions that would have an easier way of contacting someone saying we saw this crazy shit,
It's also 3 a.m.
and not the janitor at the fucking elementary school.
Who's like, why would I even go forward with this? Like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's a waste of my time.
Nobody's
I need to
gonna
pay my
believe
rent.
Me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But Dick went on to say, I can see 3 of the ugliest creatures I ever saw.
Like,
And
David-
you should see
wait.
my mother.
Wait, you telling me David and 2 mirrors were up there? Got him.
Right there.
Got him.
They're on both sides. So you got the portrait on both sides.
Yeah, you got the front and you got two profiles.
He's like, I remember the alien was not symmetrical at all.
You see the front, and you're like, and then you see the profile. It's like, how does that match up?
What's fucking wrong with his beard? It's all patchy and shit.
Three of the ugliest creatures I ever saw. I don't know what they were. They weren't human.
Or mermaids.
Their heads were all out of proportion. Very large heads with no hair. Those buggers were escorting her into the craft. My partner screamed, "We gotta go get him!"
Get the helicopter.
Trying to save him, okay.
This is where
Just shoot your gun at him.
This is where it's. We tried to get out of the car, but couldn't.
Was it moving?
Well, they're on the bridge, right?
Yeah, I read one story had it where they're on the FDR.
Okay.
And they said they were parked. But I've been on the FDR, and I don't know where you can park on the FDR. It's a freeway, basically.
But they do have like a diplomat in the car.
Diplomat in the car.
Mm-hmm. So like maybe they're like, we could stop traffic like Jack Nicholson in fucking Anger Management. You know?
Yeah.
I feel pretty. He stops it. Move on, dickhead.
Remember that movie? Move on, Dick and Richard. Okay.
I don't know if I ever saw that one.
Oh, it's so good. He just stops on the bridge. Oh no, it's good. Fuck you.
Whoa.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Come here, motherfucker.
A bit of an overreaction, but okay. Continue.
No, it's good.
His quote is concluded by saying, "After the woman was escorted in, the oval turned reddish orange again and whisked off."
Oh fuck.
Is this guy like a moonlight writer?
What does that mean?
Like does he write in his free time? Like at night, he's like sitting writing sci-fi novels. Maybe?
That's a term, isn't it?
Yeah,
Does
he
make that up?
moonlights as a writer.
You're moonlighting.
Moonlights as a writer.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was like a Japanese anime thing. You're like, I'm a moonlight writer. You know, like
Do I watch anime?
what was that cartoon with the Sailor Moon? There was a Sailor Moon knockoff.
I'm just gonna mute your
Don't
mic.
mute
for the
me.
rest of this.
Don't mute me.
So what Dick and Dan witnessed that night would become a curse to them, having deep impact on their lives for years to come. They would become irrational and psychotic, and one of them would become to think of Linda as some unusual, extraordinary power or influence on others.
So she got a stalker?
He began to stalk her.
Are you serious?
That's the exact next sentence.
Holy shit.
Yo.
He began to stalk her. Did he somehow blame Linda for his emotional behavior or fear? Or would his involvement be a threat to his livelihood? On April 29th, 1991, this is 2 years after,
Okay.
they kidnapped Linda,
Oh my god.
bundled her in their car in broad daylight, and questioned her for 3 hours.
Okay, can I ask one question?
Yeah.
This is a very important, crucial question.
Yeah.
Like, extremely to the story. Was Linda hot?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, seriously, that's like a very important thing, I feel like.
You think so?
If she was like
Maybe.
butt ugly, looking like one of them the extraterrestrials up
Oh,
there
true.
in that oval, like these guys might have been like, I mean, obviously they're psychotic and they're questioning her, they're not doing anything else. But like, if somebody got a stalker and they're like kind of good looking, I'm like, well, maybe
I can follow her for longer.
Yeah, maybe like they saw her
Jesus,
they
man.
saw her on the news. No, but maybe they saw her on the news and they're like, "Oh, we saw it," and then they're trying to get like a closer connection to her or something like that. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So I just don't know, but like just the fact that they kidnapped her and questioned her for 3 hours proves that they were all about the aliens and not about the horniness as we like to
That's an
cover.
interesting interjection.
I just wanted to. Yeah, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know how old everybody was in this too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
is Linda a little bit older?
she's a housewife and mother of 2.
Oh, okay, so she's a little bit older.
Ew.
But I don't know. I mean, 1989 isn't that long ago, but
Yeah.
she could have been younger.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Yeah.
Older in the 80s. It was.
Dude, you don't have to tell me about like pregnancy rates right now.
You're like, I actually did
everybody
some
got
research on pregnancy rates in
1982,
1889.
everybody at 21 was pregnant with twins.
Okay, so after they questioned her for 3 hours. Dan became increasingly upset with Linda as she repeatedly stated that she had no idea why the abduction happened. Linda would be kidnapped a second time by the men by the same men who tried to pry information from her, thinking she was a part of the alien abduction herself.
I love the second kidnapping when they show up at the door. It's like, this shit.
We had
again.
some questions we forgot.
this shit again here. Don't even like put the bag over my head. I'll
but
walk with you.
we did bring the goldfish this time in the Cheez-Its.
We know you got hungry last time.
But I didn't really think about it the first time around. But the fact that she had been, use the term abducted, but like she was kidnapped by aliens, and then kidnapped by these two guys twice, so far. But like, think about the fact that she was kidnapped by aliens and these two guys. Like, that's just like fuck.
Like, just so much kidnapping.
If you don't believe that she was abducted by aliens, she was definitely abducted by two
bodyguards by Dick and Dan.
Dick and Dan. Fun with Dick and Dan.
Okay, so here's where it gets horny.
Oh no.
Maybe not that horny.
I hope horny in like the good sense.
Well, it's not that horny. I wrote wonky, but I just thought it would be funny to say horny.
Wonky's a cousin of horny.
A little bit.
Okay, so
Willy Horny? That's supposed to be a Willy Wonky joke. Please cut that out. And bury it.
I cut it out. I save it as a different audio file, put it on a thumb drive and bury it.
Here lies Willy Horny.
4,000 years from now, someone digs it up and puts it into a computer,
and it wins an Oscar.
No, wait. What's the guy? Whoever digs it up gets a Pulitzer.
Pulitzer. It just over and over. Willy Horny. Like Willy Horny.
Like,
and just no laughter. Please delete it.
Mark Twain, then Willy Horny. Alex.
This is a beautiful example of how people thought they were smart.
They weren't.
Please continue. Forget about this.
Okay, so this is where it gets horny. Honky.
Horny?
It gets honky in here.
Horny?
Okay, so later on, right, Dan and Dick and Decuya.
Who's that?
The guy from Decuya. I forget his first name.
Oh, the politician?
The politician guy.
Oh, okay. So now he's involved.
So they later on they remembered that they had all been abducted along with Cortile. So this is like later on they're like, we had been abducted with her.
Here we go.
Make me the president now.
Dan said that the aliens had telepathically identified her as Lady of the Sands.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's very random.
Well, she had an ant farm and now she's special. She's like, look at, I'm the god of them and they carry sand.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's so weird.
It's a weird label.
And they're Dick and Dan are saying all this.
Dan,
wait, they roped the president in on this too. The president's like, I was there.
Not the president.
Oh,
he's just a United Nations statesman.
Oh, he's UN. Okay.
UN. So Cortile hadn't consciously remembered that, but under hypnosis, she had recalled the same details.
Oh, it's a woman.
Linda? Linda Cortile Napolitano.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the politician again.
She has too many names. She
does.
I'll just call her Linda from now on.
Yeah, thank you.
However, Dick, Dan, and the politician remembered everything without hypnosis.
Oh.
So it's like, did they get together, or are they actually remembering what happened? Dick, in fact, recalled a lifetime of abductions and was convinced he was the real father of Linda's youngest child.
Oh.
Did she not know who the father was?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It gets Cortile now Linda, while hypnotized, remembers all of this too. While hypnotized, right down to the pet names her and Richard had called each other when they were with the aliens.
I gotta take a time out real quick, and I just have to appreciate when we have a guest come onto the show and just like pull a story that's just so good. Like, this is great.
These guys are so fucking stupid. Like, I can't believe I'm just picturing them in the car. He's like, one guy goes, I got abducted. The other guy goes, I got abducted too. I got abducted
now.
When I was 1. And the guy's like, I got abducted when I was -1. And they're like, oh shit. Like, it just seems like they're competing with each other at this point.
But then who is it? Dick is like, and then I had relations with Linda.
I think Linda's hot.
Linda might be hot. I don't know. There's no pictures. There's nothing because this is not an on record story.
And these bodyguards are fat, but they think they're buff. So like they're not hot.
One of the stories that I read about this states them as CIA agents.
Okay, maybe they're a little fit.
They have abs and they are horses.
Yeah.
But they also look like Paul Giamatti.
yeah, that's true.
With the face and hair of Paul Giamatti. So Linda, while hypnotized, remembers her relations with Descartes.
Okay, interesting. That's now she's admitting to it.
Now here's where it all goes downhill.
They're all in on this.
Hold on, now we're hitting the slope.
Here's where it all goes downhill.
I'm loving it all.
We're getting down to it. Later on, Dick refused to go public with the information, and Dan was removed from the security service, aka the CIA, after being deemed mentally unfit.
Oh, Dan.
While Descouillard, the UN aficionado, went public with a note to PBS's TV show Nova, stating, "I cannot but strongly deny the claim that I have had an abduction experience at any time. On several occasions, when questioned about the matter, I reiterated that these allegations were completely false, and I hope that this statement will definitely put an end to these unfounded rumors."
Yo, Dick Yard, you're a coward.
Yeah, dude. He's like I'm a part of the UN.
Because I don't want to lose my job.
He remembered when he was under hypnosis. Oh no, when he wasn't under hypnosis.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was in on it, but then he saw the other dude get fired, and all of a sudden he's like not claiming it.
Well, yeah, I mean that's it. Or I mean, because the other statements were off the record. They were with some guy who was investigating this abduction.
Yeah.
Just some random, off the record. Mm-hmm. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe this is just another green alien probed me story, or I probed green aliens.
No,
story.
gray. They're grays.
Gray area. Gray aliens.
Gray area. Gray area.
Gray alien story. But most abductions were not witnessed by multiple people before that night, and but those people had never crossed paths before that night.
Whoa.
Okay.
And I think my biggest question is, it seemed like Dick had the better connection with Linda.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they're together, or if they're still in contact, or what Dan is up to. Actually, I'm wondering what they're all up to.
Dick refused to go on record for fear of losing his job.
Oh, because Dan lost his job.
This was like 30 years ago, though, so it is possible that none of them are alive.
It's possible.
I guess, yeah.
It's possible, but if they were in their 30s then, that means they're only 60-something now.
Yeah.
My father is 61. 62.
But
the way they're...
Do you guys know how old my dad is?
He's 105, right?
63.
How old's my dad?
105.
69.
Yeah! Okay.
Very topical.
Okay.
69, baby.
He's 420.
But yeah, so that's how I want to end it. Is they've never crossed paths before that night, and then we have Janet.
Wait, hold on. So even the bodyguard?
The bodyguards have never known Linda.
But they knew each other.
Has never met Linda, never met Dan and Dick.
But Dan and Dick knew each other.
Dan and Dick knew each other, and Descouillard.
That's the very peculiar thing, where you have multiple people coming forward and saying, I saw something, and that is the only reason that I'm like, you know what, maybe something's going on, because they don't know each other. They can't corroborate stories. They don't know what's going on. So I'm like, you know what, maybe they aren't as crazy as we think they are, but at the same time, we know people like attention. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to get behind them and go, you know what, you're credible, when some people just live a normal life and they go, spotlight right here. I'm going to jump in that shit real quick.
I can write a book on this.
Exactly.
Make some money.
Yeah, but honestly, very interesting to think about that, especially those guys risking their jobs for this.
Yeah.
Like if I was in the CIA, I assume you're getting paid pretty well. You got good benefits at least. Like you're not going to throw that away for nothing. And one of them kind of did. So
yeah, one of them did.
The other one kind of held on. But geez, what an interesting turn of events. With the whole kidnapping. They were kidnapping people.
Was that the end of your story?
That's the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Like imagine you're Dick and Dan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like all in on this. You're kidnapping women because you think
they should both lose their jobs.
They should both lose their jobs. But
yeah.
then the guy who was with you that night and verbally confirmed with you that they saw what you saw, and verbally confirmed with you that they were also abducted on that night with you, goes on national television and says, "Fuck no, that didn't happen. You just fucked."
That's a kick to the balls right
yeah,
there.
you're just like, but what about the last 3 years?
Like you were
what about when we cut our hands and shook on it, you bastard?
You were the highest ranking member of the alien group, man. What are you doing? Man, that's crazy. Interesting story. I like
Great
that.
story.
That was really good.
I'm going to delete this episode so I can do that story.
Very cool move.
Yeah.
So, David, what do you have for us
what
today?
You got, Davey?
Well, so this is my extra low effort story for a guest episode. And this is a list of some horny history moments.
Let's get horny, baby.
Oh my god.
Well,
okay,
okay.
I'm very excited for this.
This is actually, I should phrase that better, lesser known horny history moments. So you guys know those powdered wigs?
Yeah, I heard of them.
I know about them powdered wigs.
So powdered wigs were invented to cover up the overwhelming amount of head sores that were directed. Hold on, we haven't gotten horny yet.
Okay.
People have hair under there, or just head sores?
Powdered wigs were invented to cover up the overwhelming amount of head sores that were directly caused by syphilis.
Oh, syphilis.
Syphilis.
Yeah, a lot of syphilis back in the powdered wigs days. I didn't want to say a date
I
because
saw
I
a
didn't want to
billboard
be
for syphilis
wrong.
in LA. What's going on with syphilis?
Yeah, a lot of syphilis. There's a lot of STD billboards.
Yeah. I don't like
It's
them.
like get checked at syphilis.
At your local 7-Eleven.
At your local
at syphilismoms.com.
Are you talking because you saw that billboard? It looked
The pregnant
the
woman.
pregnant woman.
Yeah.
It said syphilis affects your baby.
Yeah.
God, so sad.
So does booze.
What?
That's so true.
Oh, booze affects your...
Yeah,
I think you
yeah.
said booze affects your syphilis.
It might.
Well, it might. Yeah.
So that's also part of why they would powder their face so much too.
Oh, to have that pale look because they were probably like red with syphilis
And
or
they
something?
were losing blood from their syphilis sores.
It was to hide the open sores. And
Interesting.
I don't
was-
see how powder could. I'm sorry. I don't see how powder could hide syphilis sores. It would just look like white, like gashes
from a
in your
distance.
face.
Well,
It was from a distance.
If everybody
Yeah.
did it, then you don't feel self-conscious anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was also frequently mentioned how prominent a person's nose was because syphilis would devour the tissue in your nose. So
Whoa.
in,
So they
like-
all became Voldemorts?
yeah, basically. But so like in a lot of like old timey literature, people would mention like their noses because it would say like, oh, they've got like a big old great nose because they don't have syphilis and it's not being eaten away.
Big noses were a sign of health, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of like how being fat was a sign of health.
Yeah,
back in
because
that
you're
day.
healthy enough to eat.
Healthy enough to just keep
No, not
eating,
rich enough to
drinking-
eat.
Rich
drinking
enough.
ale and
Jesus.
drinking wine.
Well, you're both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Antony van Leeuwenhoek was known as the father of microbiology. You know why?
Micro penis. He had a micro penis.
Maybe, I don't know. They don't mention that.
My-
It was you have a guess?
No, I have no guess.
It was because he was the first person ever to examine semen under a microscope.
What, mermen?
Semen? No.
Semen.
Sperm.
Oh, man.
Which by the way, was his own semen that he examined immediately after having sex with his wife.
Well, good. At least it was his wife.
Well, he was very adamant that people knew that it was after sex with his wife because he didn't. He wanted to make sure everybody knew he got laid. He's like, no, I got laid.
He's like, everybody, I want to tell you that I inspected my own semen. And I definitely did it after I had sex with my wife, and not a lobster. Everyone's like, what? Everyone's like,
no lobster.
I don't own a lobster under my bed. I don't feed him. I don't keep him healthy.
It wasn't with a mermaid.
It was my wife.
And my wife is not a mermaid.
He doesn't have a crusher claw that grabbed my balls last.
And that's not what I'm into. I don't like pain in any sexual form. So, next one. Alexander the Great.
I know about him.
Heard of him.
You know how many prostitutes he had?
Enough.
69. 69.
Not even close.
420.
He had 361 prostitutes, which, with obvious math, means that he was 4 away from having a lady for every goddamn day of the year.
Wow. Whoa, very cool. I don't know.
You just looked like you just went right into your imagination.
Yeah,
right
you left us for a moment.
We kind of lost you.
Sorry.
That was like in Doctor Strange when she punches his soul out of him. We saw you like just disappear.
I was like, whoa! I was going through like hexagons.
You're flying over 364. 360. How many? 5?
I was flying through like hexagons, and there's like women around me, and then like one lobster, and I was like, "What's that?" And then like I flew by, and I was like,
"They're like that's number 362." You can't call a lobster a prostitute.
It's not a prostitute if you pay him in crickets.
What do lobsters eat?
I don't know what lobsters eat. I'm literally.
It's definitely not fucking crickets.
Yeah, where are they gonna get crickets?
Now you guys are gonna pretend like crickets aren't on the bottom of the ocean floor.
All right, next one. Ben Franklin was known to be a total sex freak and loved to tell his younger friends about how much he loved to have sex with older women.
Yo, that boy had syphilis too.
Yeah.
I watched The Office, and he definitely had syphilis.
He loved older women, but at the end of the day, he just loved every type of woman. It was said that when he died, an astounding amount of women showed up to his funeral mourning him.
Well, that's good that the women liked him too.
They liked a fat ass forehead because that dude was all.
They just like
forehead.
to smack it.
That dude was all forehead and kite. They're
like, a lot of keys.
I like hanging out with Ben because he has a pretty sexy forehead, but all he wants to do is fly a kite. Sorry, I think that's funny.
So this one I wasn't sure about writing because it's a little iffy, but Anne Frank's diary talked a lot about masturbation, like a lot.
Yeah,
really,
that's true.
She was obviously very young when she passed away, but like her diary, like there was a lot to talk about masturbation.
A lot of sexy ideas in that diary.
Well, Sam's Jewish, so we get a pass on this, right? Sam?
Yeah, sure.
We get a. Pass.
I have to read it though.
But so. Although her diary did mention a lot about masturbation, it was almost all edited out before they made it a public thing. Yeah.
I mean, if you own a diary and you don't expect it to get published, like most people who write diaries do, you probably are going to write your deepest, darkest secrets. You know what I mean?
Well, I think all the acts were edited out, but the actual thoughts were still in it. So she talks a lot about the dude. I forget the dude's name, but the dude who's around her age. She talks about how she has a crush on him.
They're being coy with it. They're being coy.
A lot of people also speculated that she was bisexual because she talked a lot about her female friends.
That's pretty cool. The trailblazer right there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
President Lyndon Johnson was incredibly
that guy had a big ass dong, I heard.
Can I finish?
Sorry.
President Lyndon Johnson was incredibly obsessed with his junk and loved showing it to people. Johnson's nickname for his Johnson was Jumbo.
Jumbo Johnson.
Yeah.
I heard he would whip it out to reporters, right?
Yeah, you'd show everybody Jumbo.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. Just think about how you couldn't even get close to that now.
Like LBJ does it to a reporter and everybody thinks it's fine, and I do it to the guy at Quiznos, and all of a sudden I don't get my sub toasted, and I'm like, yo.
Well, I'm pretty sure Quiznos don't exist.
Well, because of that reason.
And then you look up and you realize you're just in the alleyway behind the closed down Quiznos.
I wake up and I'm floating in the air above Manhattan with my dong hanging out, and all of a sudden 2 security guards are like, "Yo, I've seen that guy before." I'm like,
I've seen that weird little thing.
I saw 3 weird little things, 2 grays, and 1 was Tobin's penis.
Well, that guy must specialize in microbiology.
All right, so Tobin, correct me if I'm wrong. Our next story, you talk about the Battle of Agincourt, correct?
Did I talk about that?
I thought you did.
What's Agincourt?
Okay, maybe you didn't talk about it then.
So, brush me up on Agincourt. I might have.
Like I said at the very beginning of my story, this was my low effort story, so I actually didn't research it that much. But I wrote this before you told your story, and I thought you mentioned it. But so at the Battle of Agincourt, most of the English archers fought pantless.
What?
Oh.
You know why?
Wait.
Pants slowed you down.
I mean, I guess this one's not horny at all. It's just kind of fucked up. It might be your thing. They all fought pantless because they all had horrific diarrhea.
That's why you need pants.
And they were literally shitting themselves in battle. And they won that battle. And people like to think, who's going to fight a guy covered in diarrhea?
Was
like,
used
no,
as nitrous.
I give up.
Wait, was that during the 100 Years' War?
Agincourt.
Agincourt. Archers. But
Battle.
archers don't have to move, so I guess... I just don't really understand. Maybe the laundry guy was like, I'm not putting pants on you.
They didn't need to use their diarrhea as propulsion
Okay,
forward.
I think we really need to question the chef in this predicament, because the chef literally gave everybody diarrhea, correct?
Yeah, or just
Maybe.
like the terribly unsanitary situation that they
living
were in.
conditions.
Living conditions.
Who was the Mad King?
Charles the Sixth
Not okay.
of France.
France?
Targaryen?
French, yes.
Was
Fran-
it Targaryen is the Mad
It
King?
wasn't Aegon.
Okay, whatever. I
Rhaegar.
thought you mentioned that. We're just gonna move
Rhaegar.
on. So this one I especially love. According to Christianity, Jesus ascended to heaven, leaving no part of his body on earth except for one thing.
His diarrhea.
His foreskin?
Being born Jewish, he was circumcised 8 days after birth,
Yo, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
leaving behind his foreskin,
Yo, why don't they teach this in church?
which is known as the Holy Prepuce,
Prepuce?
Prepuce,
I don't know.
or the Holy Foreskin. Throughout centuries, several churches have claimed that they have it.
You know, some guy was like walking by and was like, "Oh, fuck, I dropped my foreskin." And he's like, "I can't find it in all this dirt." And then some guy's like, "I found Jesus' foreskin. It's a little dirty,
But I blew it off. I blew the dirt off of it.
I put it in my mouth like a marble and cleaned it."
I swooshed it. So,
Holy shit, that's crazy! I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever, you don't think about that kind of thing when you think about Jesus.
You only take what you need to have. You know what I mean?
No extra baggage.
No baggage. It's like just an extra thing to clean. I don't need it.
So Nelson Rockefeller, the former vice president of America.
Oh, he's a VP for who?
No,
sorry, I didn't mean this is your low
Don't
effort.
ask
This
him
is your
things.
low effort story. I didn't know Rockefeller was VP though.
yeah.
Crazy.
He suffered a heart attack and died while having sex
Whoa,
with
a lobster.
his
Mm.
lobster.
Oh,
No.
I got some butter for you. Butter or mayonnaise?
Let's get in that hot tub. Wait, no.
You can't tell anybody about this.
He died having sex with his 25-year-old assistant.
Okay.
He was at the ripe age of 70.
Oh,
Yikes.
Give your dad one more year.
Sign me up.
Get him an
Yikes.
assistant.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
All right, so this one's kind of brutal.
Oh, God.
So let's lock it down. The first person that was ever convicted and hanged in the New America.
No, good job of hanged. I like that.
You know, when I read the article, it did say hung, so it made
Really?
me re-question everything.
Okay,
Oh,
you know
God.
what? Maybe that person was stupid though, because
possible.
I read numerous times
Yeah,
that
stick with hanged.
Hanged.
hanged. In the New America, like America was being founded, like before it was actually America. So
I know what New America is.
Okay, just making sure you guys understand what I was trying to say there.
Early 1700s.
The 70s.
The first person ever hanged.
Oh,
God.
good.
Oof.
In the New America was a 16-year-old boy named Thomas Granger, who was sentenced to death for bestiality with a mare, a cow, 2 goats, many sheep, 2 calves, an ostrich, and a turkey.
Okay, well, the first one was a mayor, so like
a mayor
of the
A
town.
mayor.
A mayor.
I know, I'm fucking with you. He's like, well, that mayor was pretty good in office. Maybe I'll just try the sheep next. Wait, did you say ostrich, and what do you end with?
A turkey.
Oh God.
Turkey seems
Which is why we eat them on Thanksgiving.
Oh God.
Oh my, that's crazy.
Yep.
I feel like if you're that deep into the animal sex world, maybe you just like, I don't want to say like you deserve to be hanged, but like you definitely know none of those
You need
animals are
help.
like down for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
You need
like
help.
he needs to be stopped at some point. You know,
Yeah.
maybe put him in some shackles. Maybe not hang him, but you know.
Or get him a good psychologist.
Yeah, it wasn't one
know,
calf.
Get him a lobster.
You get him, get him a good psychologist.
Once you get a lobster, you're done. You're done.
So my next one is another one that's a little iffy with the whole age thing. One of the only really true cement facts about Pocahontas
Okay.
was many of the colonists that she was with, and almost all of them have they wrote about it. Like it's like there are multiple things saying it. One of their favorite forms of entertainment was watching her do naked cartwheels.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Isn't it weird to think that I didn't even think of like anybody doing a cartwheel before like the 60s? I feel like cartwheels were invented during the
Very
70s.
specific.
They were invented around the same time as the wheel.
My question is
No, it's just like cuz like you picture a cartwheel with like, oh, like hippies and like I'm doing cartwheels and stuff like that, and just like you never think of like a guy in a suit being like, I'm gonna do a cartwheel right now. Like also same with somersaults. Like no one's doing somersaults. We got big business to do and smoking cigarettes and
that was their favorite form of entertainment at the time.
Yeah, they all gathered around and watched her do naked cartwheels.
Why don't they like watch Netflix or something?
I don't know. They were tired of watching fucking Friends in the Office.
they'd probably watch the Naked Cartwheel show starring Paul Giamatti.
So for my last one here is the former king of Portugal, D. João. I don't know. It was all fucked up.
He's like listening to this podcast. He's like, dude, what the fuck?
No, I'm pretty sure this is a long time ago. He had a royal masturbator who many have crowned today as the hand of the king.
Oh, the right hand man of the king.
Yeah. Well, isn't that Game of Thrones, the hand of the king?
True.
Yeah.
You're right. Was this a woman or a man, or is it? I said right hand man of the king.
It was a man.
Tobin. Hey Tobin, why does it matter?
It doesn't, but I said right hand man of the king, and we have to switch it to right hand woman.
Right
of the
hand
king.
person.
Right hand person.
Right
of the
hand
king.
human being.
I mean, they're masturbating the king. It's like I don't think they want to be named at all. So
The
like,
right hand Carol.
they're like, keep me off the fucking record, please. I don't want to be involved. In this.
never existed.
It just reminds me.
Don't mind me.
Get paid 50 quid for this. It's Portugal. I don't know.
My
currency.
hand hurts.
But I was just thinking about.
Do you have a tissue?
Coming to America when in the Eddie Murphy movie when he goes, "Sir, the royal penis is clean."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
See, I just know that from that Ludacris song.
Oh, it is in a Ludacris song. you're
Can
right.
you do it? Can you do it for me right now? The Ludacris song.
Oh no, it's just like an intro to the
Can
song.
you perform the whole Ludacris song right now, beat included?
Yeah. Can you do it?
No, I can't. I just
Oh.
remember the
Well,
intro
fuck.
of his song. I think they just took the audio from the movie. I think it just sampled it, but maybe not. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, that's it.
Wow, those are some horny facts.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do agree with.
I'm scared of calling those facts horny. To be
Some
honest.
some of them are horny. Some of them are just sexual.
I
Yeah.
mean,
had to do with
Some of them are shit in your britches, so you just take the britches off.
shitting outside your britches.
Some of them are syphilis related, which I hope is not a part of my horny story in the future. But yeah, let's try to keep our powdered wigs off our heads and our cartwheels in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So not for a group of dirty explorers. So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in because we love telling you these stories and we love that you tune in and listen. I also want to say thank you to Sam Skolnik for stopping by.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We love it. This was a great episode. You brought a great story to the table.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate it. We also have anything you want, just go to campstrange.com. Check it out. I'm not going to go through all the spiel. I think we're over the time already. So check out all of our stuff. If you want to rate, review, subscribe, that's great. If you want to buy some merch, that's great. If you want to follow us on Instagram, that's great too. But do all of that, and I'm forcing you to right now. So go do it. Right? Go do it.
Go do it right now.
And David, are we going to keep up with our theme?
Yeah, sure. I got a topic. Since we're late on time, we're gonna do one each.
Okay, one each.
Of what?
So David has switched our topic. Instead of doing
What we got.
What we got?
We've been mixing it up. So today, my idea is horrible book names.
Ooh. Can we get two each?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So,
David, you go first.
My title is The Downfall of Training Dogs.
Damn, that's pretty good. Fuck. Okay.
I'm gonna do one. It was also I was thinking while you're doing the outro. I was thinking while you were doing the outro, and the thing that I would have had is also gonna be my horrible book name. It's a book called Big Ol' Carabiners.
Have you ever seen, they actually sell those giant carabiners that have a pad that you're supposed to carry multiple bags of groceries with?
Oh, yes, I have seen that.
They sell those. That's a thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm sure it's very helpful.
I bet it's great.
You just, you carry like 5 bags of groceries on one hand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my book, of course, is called 50 Ways to Open a Clamped Lobster Claw.
When you only need one.
And then it's colon and it says from personal experience.
Well, that's the time that you really want to read a book, when you got a clamped lobster claw on you. So,
yeah.
David, do you have one more for us?
How about the bones in your body the government doesn't want you to know about?
Okay. Can you give me an example of one of those bones?
No.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Very fun. My second one is this t-shirt has no armholes.
Ooh, that's good. Okay, my last one is macaroni and cheese, food or faith?
I thought you were going to say food or foe.
Food or faith? That's
another colon.
Another colon.
the macaroni and cheese religion.
Macaroni and cheeses.
And there's another colon.
There
There's
we
another
go.
colon. Macaroni and cheeses. Did you already say that? You just said.
And there's another colon. It just says out your colon. There we go. That's it.
It messes up my colon.
It's all colon.
Yeah.
It's all colon from here on out. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate doing this for you guys, and what the fuck are we talking about? We appreciate you guys, and we love doing this for you guys. So, David, Sam, I just want to say thank you for coming on, and David, sorry, I cut you off.
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay. David, do you have anything to say before we leave?
Don't forget to go watch Witness.
Oh.
Witnesses.
On Google Play, Vudu, iTunes, and Amazon Prime.
There we go. And also, don't forget to stay strange.